Hi guys, you're watching Ben Educate Productions. I'm Ben, and I'll be your host for this video. So, I'm going to be talking about college and what to expect from college, and should you expect to learn a lot from college, and what kind of jobs should you expect to be able to get after you go to college. I'm specifically talking about IT here, but some of these aspects of this video will apply to other courses as well. So yeah, I'm going to talk about what to expect from college, how the grading system works, and what you should do to give yourself a higher chance of getting a job when you leave college compared to other people in your classes. So, college is, for IT anyway, it gives you a basic understanding, especially in year one. Personally, for me, in year one, we had different lessons to do with all different types of stuff to do with IT. So we had system security, or cyber security, we had hardware, we'd have websites, we'd even have software developing, like programming. So we had quite a few different areas to give us an idea of what it's like, to give us a taster of it. So that was in the first year, and I mean, especially in the first year anyway, you're not going to learn too much important stuff, you're just going to learn a basic understanding. But even in the second year, they're not really going to teach you proper technical stuff that you'll be required to know when you go out to work. So, for example, currently I'm learning C# and doing Unity in college, but like they're not going to teach you the whole syntax of the programming language. And don't get me wrong, you don't need to know the whole syntax, you don't need to know the whole programming language, but you need to know quite a decent amount to be able to fluently just create apps using something like C#. But they won't really teach you that. They'll just give you assignments to do with C#. You'll do the assignment and you'll forget. That's really what will happen really. The only way to avoid this happening is to educate yourself, which I'll be talking about later in this video. So I'm going to talk about how the grading system works in college. This is specifically for BTEC, by the way. In A levels, it's completely different. I'm just talking about BTEC. So you'll get into college, and you'll be given assignments. So they'll give you like a criteria thing at the beginning of your course, showing you how many assignments you'll have. So we would have, 5 or 6 pass tasks. You'd have 3 or 4 merit tasks, and you'd have 2 or 3 distinction tasks. The pass task will be the easiest task. The merit task will be the middle hardest task, and the distinction task will be the hardest. Now, it's not necessarily the hardest, it just means you have to write the most about it or give the most detail. The distinction tasks require the most information and the most detail compared to a merit and a pass task. A pass task will probably take you around an hour and a half, a merit task will probably take you around 2 hours, and a distinction task will probably take you 3 to 4 hours. Obviously, this all depends on what it is. Some lessons could have assignments that take longer, but it's sort of based on how much effort you need to put into it and how much writing you need to do. It could be a distinction task with no writing, it could be a project that you're making. But yeah, it all just depends really. But you get given a pass task, you complete it, you hand it in to your teacher will then mark it. If the teacher is satisfied with your work, they'll mark it as correct, and there you go, that'll be as your work submitted. If they find a problem with it, they'll do something called a resub, which means they'll mark it, they'll say what's wrong with it, they'll give it back to you, and they'll give you about a week, maybe 2 weeks, to hand that back in and have it completed or have it fixed or get rid of any errors that it used to have. So once you hand this in, if you then fail to pass it again, they'll give you a whole new assignment to do. And then if you fail that again, you actually do fail the whole course. So you really need to take this stuff seriously and try and... My advice to you is to just get it done straight away. Make sure you put a lot of effort into it straight away. Don't just think, oh yeah, I'll get a resub, so I don't need to really bother with this too much. Just get it done, get it out of the way, so you don't have to worry about anything else. But that's how the grading system works. So you can kind of tell it's easier compared to GCSEs because you're given the task, you're told how to do the task. It's just about effort, really. It's nothing to do with memory or how much you study. It's about effort. You put the effort in, you hand it to your teacher, and you pass the task. It's as simple as that. It's really good. You just get given the task, and if you do the work, you get a pass. You get one pass for that specific subject. You might have a few subjects in one thing which all need 5 passes each. So yeah, you'll get quite a lot of assignments over the course of the year, but they are quite spaced out, so it's not too bad. Just make sure you do the work to the best of your ability so you don't have to have a resubmission, because that can be a pain. So that's a bit about college, right? But the problem is, college teaches you entry-level knowledge, really. And what I mean by that is, it teaches you the foundations of something. Let's say, for example, cybersecurity, which I learnt last year. We didn't learn anything about how to actually hack people, or how to defend yourself from hacking, or anything really technical. It was more theory-based. We learned about, for example, things how encryption works, but we didn't learn how to create encryption keys or anything like that. It's a lot more theory-based, which means it gave us the entry-level information and knowledge, so that if we wanted to go and learn it, we'd have the basic understanding and fundamental knowledge to go and educate ourselves. But the problem is, in the first year, you get taught that, but you don't do it in the second year. So it's kind of like, you may be thinking, what's the point then? But I know college can be a bit iffy sometimes. They'll teach you entry-level knowledge, but then they won't expand at all on your knowledge of that. That's kind of up to you, to be honest. You need to educate yourself on that. I'm going to be talking about that pretty much now. So you only really get entry-level knowledge, and even in the second year, you still only really get entry-level knowledge. You're not going to learn everything. Oh, and bear in mind, there is only 2 years of college. I know you can do more if you choose a different course or something, but you have school, you leave school, you have 2 years of college, 2 short years of college, and then you go out into the workplace, or you go and do university. So you only have 2 years to learn as much as you can before you go to university or in the workplace. Now, only getting entry-level knowledge is, I guess, okay if you're going to university afterwards, because it allows you to learn in university, really, because you understand the fundamentals and the basic knowledge to then go expand upon it in university. But if you're thinking about, I want to just go straight out into the workplace, then you're going to need to educate yourself to compete with others, really, because it's only entry-level knowledge. If you go and apply for a job with just entry-level knowledge and you don't really know how to start, you can't start working straight away. You need some like courses and stuff. They're going to be less likely to hire you because they're going to need to put more time into you. They're going to need to put more money into you, paying for courses and stuff. So, yeah. So, educating yourself. So, if you've got a weekend, or I know personally for me, in college in the UK, you probably go to college 3 days a week or 4 days a week. That sounds really nice, doesn't it? Because going straight from school, going from 5 days a week to down to 4 days or 3 days is great. So you have a lot of spare time. You know, even if on the days when you come home from college, come home, relax for a bit, get something to eat, whatever. But if you've got a few hours where you're not really doing anything, I really recommend doing some research or self-study. I'm not going to go too deep into this. I'm going to make a separate video for this in the future, talking about what resources you can use online and the best strategies to educate yourself. But I'm just telling this to you so you know that if you want to go straight out into the workplace after college, you need to educate yourself, and you really need to start putting the effort in now, sooner than later, and yeah, to get the most knowledge you can at such a young age. So you don't need to go to university to be really smart. You just need to put a lot of effort in, really. That's what I'm going to be talking about quite a lot in my future episodes. So, yeah, guys, if you found this helpful, I'm really hoping you did find it helpful. Please subscribe and leave a like. But also, go down in the comments. If you have any questions to ask about college or anything really to do with... I'm only in college now, so I can't really talk much experience about the workplace, but I can talk a little bit about school and a little bit about college IT, BTEC in the UK. That is important stuff to remember, because this kind of stuff is different everywhere in the world. So yeah, if you have any questions, go down there in the comment section, ask me a question, and if it's a good topic, I might even make a video about it. If it's a short little question, I'll reply to it in the comments. So guys, I hope you found this useful, and I'll see you in the next video.